Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is quotes 277. The quote today is by Bob Dylan, and here's the quote. The money you make will never buy back your soul. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. The quote by Bob Dylan is not about your average hardworking person or successful businessman who is trying to build financial security for his family or loved ones, even if they're successful. Even if they make a lot of money, this isn't really who this quote is in reference to. It is in reference to global elite who influence the world in negative ways that could cause death and destruction to massive amounts of people for their own interest. He was inspired by the farewell means like goodbye, speech of President Eisenhower. So I think this was like at the end of the 50s, or maybe right around 1960 or something. Eisenhower about the industrial military complex. In this song, he is referring to the rich political elite brokers who influence his country's politicians, political events for their own personal gains through bribes, threats, etc. They have a hand in bringing about wars, violent events around the world. This quote comes from his song, Masters of War. Okay, and I just kind of covered a couple of the first parts, or the first stanzas of his song, just so that you can clearly see who he's talking about. And this is how he kind of starts it with, even though, Bob Dylan sings in a way that he's almost just like talking, because he was very folk song. So I'm just really going to read these. Okay, so let's go on. Come, you masters of war, so those that are controlling war. You build the big guns, you that build the death planes, you build all the bombs, you hide behind walls, you hide behind desks. I just want you to know I can see through your mess. So basically he's saying that you're the one that influences these wars, but you're not out there, you're not doing the fighting. You hide behind walls, you hide behind desks. But you get other people to do the dirty work for you. You that never done nothing but build to destroy, you play with my world like it's your little toy. You put a gun in my hands and you hide from my eyes, and you turn and you run faster when the fast bullets fly. Okay, so basically, again, you're not part of it. You set it up, you cause it to happen, you're getting the gain from it. But, that's what you do. And I'm going to jump just right to the end because I really just want to get to the quote part. This is just kind of a setup so you could understand where the song was going. And this is towards the end of it. I think you will find when your death takes its toll, all the money you made will never buy back your soul. So even though you may have profited from these wars, and sometimes not even really care who wins or who loses, as long as you made your personal profit from it. So he's going to say, whatever you gained, whatever you think you gained on this earth with all that money or the vast riches that you made from this, in the end, you will lose your soul. All right, so really in some ways he should be admired for these lyrics and helping to wake up people. Now I'm just going to add this part because it's a little ironic. So ironically, Bob Dylan had an interview with Ed Bradley in 2005, which seemed that he admitted to that he sold his soul to the devil. Now this is really weird. I don't know if people really can do this. I don't know if this is really a thing. What is a little spooky about it is that he's not the only celebrity that seems to have done this. There's probably at least about 5 to 10 you can find on the internet that I've seen them say it in interviews. And I'm surprised that the media, mainstream media, doesn't pull this out more and make a bigger deal about it. They kind of just brush over it. But you wonder, why would they do this? Is this a publicity stunt? Or if it is, it's a weird publicity stunt. It's kind of a sick publicity stunt. And why do they do this? Anyway, let's go on. But here is some of the questions from the interview. Now I wrote I is the question that the interviewer is asking, and D is what he answered. And here was the first part. So the interviewer goes, why do you still do it? Why do you still play? Because, even at this time, 2005, Dylan's old, and he's like a senior citizen. So he's like, well, why don't you just like retire and go away? And basically he answers, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with the, and if you watch the interview, it actually seems like a slight part is cut out. It almost seems like he said the devil, but it seemed to be edited from the tape or something. So in the interview, he never specifically says that he sold his soul to the devil. But if you listen closely, there seems to be like a little skip or something's missing that you don't know if the news organization actually cut out those words. A long time ago, I am just keeping up my end of the bargain. All right. Now, I know some people, they like Bob Dylan, and maybe they think, oh, well, maybe he's really talking about God. But usually we don't make deals with God. You make promises to God, but you don't usually make deals with God. God doesn't turn around and make a deal with you. But we do, from stories, we do know that sometimes people make deals with the devil. All right, let's continue. I'm just keeping up my end of the bargain. Yeah. What was your bargain? That's what the interviewer asks. And he says, to get where I am now, to become famous, to become rich, to become popular. And the interviewer asks, should I ask who you made the bargain with? And Dylan answers, with the chief commander. And the interviewer asks, on this earth? And Dylan answers, on this earth and the world you cannot see. So I don't know. You could think about yourself who he was talking about, but a lot of people do think that that's who he is talking about. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's hope it's not. Let's hope it's not true. Let's hope this is just a publicity stunt. If you like, if you're a religious person, maybe you should say a prayer for him, and it won't be wasted in case it really wasn't. This is not what he's talking about. Anyway. This is food for thought to think about with this. Like I said, in one way, he should really be admired for writing this song and those lyrics. But on the other hand, was he part of something like this? I don't know. Anyway, you can let me know what you think. I don't know if you were it's very tempting for people that are trying to become rising stars. Would they go far? Would they do this? Would you do this? Would you, if it's possible that you can do this? Hopefully not. Anyway, it's food for thought. I hope you got it. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.